What is going on, everyone? Judd Burden here with Asphalt Kingdom, and I'm stoked to be here, man. I remember when I first met Bryson up in Hershey, Pennsylvania area, Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Yep.
Pro headquarters. Met you for the first time for the pro striping workshop that we hosted there with Skylar and the team. It was awesome, and dude, I remember when I first walked into that office. You were like fresh off the line, dude. You
Oh
you
yeah.
did not know a thing about asphalt at that time, really. Dude, what a year. What a year it's been,
Yeah.
man. Like you're going into your second year, dude. Take us back, man. I know a lot of people who are going to be watching this, they're like probably in a spot where they're either in the business or they're about to enter the business.
Mhm.
And your position is one that's a really important position for any company, actually, in order to drive results. So let's unpack
Absolutely.
that a little bit, man. I'm excited to share. So take us back, dude. Like asphalt. Why asphalt? And how the heck did you get introduced to this thing?
Yeah. So just first going a little bit about like a background of me personally and where I came from. So first started out in going to college at Kutztown University, studying communications. I always really enjoyed, communicating with people and learning how, they position the body, was those different haptics mean, the way they're talking to you, what does that mean, So I really enjoyed studying that. And then later I found, I also want to be able to grow myself in not only personally, but also, wealth wise too, as well. And I thought about, how can I do that? So I thought, why not do sales, right? So from there, as we then go through college, graduate, I then did 2 years of digital sales for a company up in Allentown, PA. So that allowed me to start getting some training and understand sales on the digital side. And then later, after that 2 year period, I wanted to move back home here around Lancaster area, the Hershey area. So moved back home, and then it was funny enough, Skylar, the owner of ProSeal here, actually knew my father, who was one of the contractors that we work with. And so Skylar said he was looking for a salesman and I was looking for a job. So that's kind of how we made that connection here. And then we're here today. And now I'm, on the jam here, it comes full circle.
Okay, so there's something really cool, right? Like you almost closed. It was pretty close to $1 million in sales
Yes,
last
sir.
year, right? It was
Yes, sir.
950. Was that the
Yep.
number?
Yeah.
900,
953. Yeah. Actually, no,
953.
983. I was really, really close. 20,000 off.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude. And
20,000.
I remember when I met you because I was, I'm always super stoked when I meet a young energized guy that just wants to dominate. And you can see when somebody's actually when somebody believes something with conviction, when the eyes start to get really laser focused and clear, and it's like
Mhm.
I don't just want this, but I like desire this. Like this
Right.
is I'm gonna do everything I can to learn and stack my toolbox with the tools that are needed in order to actually get to the destination.
Mhm.
And dude, I said to you, which this is awesome, by the way. I'm like, dude, if you hit your $1 million mark, because you originally had a goal of 500,000, I think, or something, dude. It was really
Yeah,
small. What was the goal
yeah. In the
originally?
in the original interview, because I had no clue about the paving industry and the opportunities that it has here. I Skylar asked me, "What's your goal in sales here?" And I said 60,000.
In revenue. In
Yep,
revenue?
60,000 in revenue. So kind of
Because you
went
come
well
from a
above
dig
that.
because you came from a digital sales background, so you
Right.
didn't it wasn't apples to apples, but
Exactly.
in your mind you were limited to what it is that you were taught. You
Mhm.
what you were taught was up until that point. You were now in a position in that point to start to make decisions that were related to your past, so you only know what you know.
Yeah,
So what
absolutely.
happened after the 60 grand, dude, after that goal? Skylar laughed?
Yeah, he looked at Charlie, our office manager here, and he just kind of looked at him, gave a little chuckle, and I was wondering, I was like, what is that about? Like, it's my goal. But later, as I'm going through and getting more experience and working here at ProSeal, I understand that that goal is very, very small, and so was able to get well past that just this last year, and ended up wrapping a overall great year with my first year at ProSeal here.
First year, first year really selling anything, any kind of pavement management
Mhm.
solutions business. and you almost hit $1 million in sales.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, brother?
I am 25.
What would you say to the people that say that, or what would you say to the people that may not believe that they could do it? Honestly.
If I'm being completely honest, if you don't think you can do it, then you're not going to do it, right? It's all about mindset at the end of the day, right? If you don't think you're going to go out and sell a job every day, right? Then, you're not going to. You have to have the mindset first to be able to then go and operate and achieve the goals that you want to achieve, right? And that you set out for yourself. And if you don't have a strong mental fortitude to be able to do that, you're never going to achieve that. So, my biggest thing is first, be mentally prepared, set your goals, and just know that they are attainable, and you just have to follow the process with it.
So when I challenged you with that $1 million mark, had you already set $1 million in your mind or no?
For me, in my mind, I was like, oh, $1 million. I was like, might be a little tough. This is me when I had no clue. But then as I'm going further and further through the season, I'm like, let's bump that up to 1.5 million. Let's go a little bit further, right? And seeing how I can like push myself further and further the entire time. How can I go above my goal every step of the way? What do I need to do on a day-to-day basis to help achieve that goal, right? So to me, in my head, originally, I was like, that's a far off goal here, man. Like, I'm not sure, Judd. But, in the end, how it all came to be and, the experience that I got, it's definitely attainable as long as you put your mind to and work hard to achieve that.
So look, someone who doesn't believe right now, think of it as a sprint. There's a starting line and there's a finish line. When you're at that starting line and you do not believe, it's because you haven't been able to be exposed to the things that allow you to potentially believe. And it's
Mhm.
like, I won't believe it until I see it. And I'm very similar to that, right? Like if you tell me certain things that are maybe a little bit far stretched, I may not believe in that until I actually see it or experience it. I mean, that's what we're taught in our life. And that's a mental limitation that society teaches us in education,
Mhm.
peer groups, et cetera. It's you only know what you know because of what you've been through in your life up until now. But I can tell you, like, if you're a person watching right now and you're at that starting line, dude, there's so many things that we can do and implement so that you become more of a believer and you will build a life filled with abundance if you actually stack those tools in your box. What are some of the tools that you stacked in your box when you first started up until where you are right now? Like there's got to be some tools within there
Mhm.
that changed your conviction, your level of conviction. What were they?
So some of the tools that I use, one thing that I got right here, it's a folder, right? Super simple. It's nothing crazy, nothing extraordinary. It's just a folder that shows more information about your company and tells you exactly who they are, what we're doing, and why we're here, right? That's the first piece. That's the first piece that I always give to my clients whenever we're talking and meeting on assessment, explaining and walking through the parking lot. That's the one piece that I always have on me to give that extra value of who we are. It's also a presentation piece too as well to show off your work as well. So that's one of the tools I used. Another one that I actually got from you, Judd, was for Phantom Busters, which we talked a little bit about. So if you guys want to learn more about that, feel free to reach out. But with that helped us scrape more data around the area and allowed me to do more cold calls and got to be able to get into more different kind of markets or niches within our industry that allows us to be more profitable. So these are like your banks, storage unit facilities, churches was a huge one for me. And then, working around commercial facilities too as well. So those are two of the main ones, but also, other than that, one of the other tools I use is something called Attentive AI. That has also improved my productivity here to be able to worry less about taking measurements on site and being able to do it all online too as well. And I'm sure as well, Judd, as you may know, you can also do it through AK Dash, right? So you can also do that and save you a little bit more time too as well, if that's what you guys are looking to do. Save more time that you don't have to be out on site, more time that you can make making calls, making deals, selling more, making more wealth for yourself.
I love this, man. So like three golden takeaways right there is flyers, phantom busters, data scraping for prospecting, and then attentive.ai that does some auto takeoff stuff and makes it
Mhm.
look fancy, of course, because you can deliver an experience in your proposals that are a little bit more compelling than the average company. But I think there's some other things too, and I know we could stack all kinds of tools. Like this toolbox could be full of stuff. I mean, the reality of it is you set assessments as part of that, being able to do a pavement assessment, which is more of a consultative sale that isn't a
Mhm.
quote that shoved down somebody's throat. How important are the assessments to your sales process in your pipeline?
Top
It's
priority. Top
yeah,
priority. That's the number one thing. If you are not making a good impact when you're first meeting your client, it's simple. They're not going to go with you, right? If they don't really, there's three things. It's like people buy from people they know, like, and trust. It's those three things, right? If you can't hit any of those, you're automatically out. So, that meeting, that original walkthrough is very important. It allows you to one, meet the client, understand their goals, their objectives, what they're trying to get out of their payment asset life cycle, and how you can meet that goal. And then you have to just show them the roadway or the road path to get to where their goal is. And that's the biggest thing. And that's what most impacts sales on the end of with payment, in my opinion.
dude. Dude, and let me ask you something else. Like, we taught, and I know that you attended one of our sales power stacks. There was the closer framework that we
Mm-hmm.
practice, which is clarify, label, overview,
Overview.
sell, explain the way the
Explain.
concerns reinforce
Yep.
the decision. During that clarify stage and the labeling with the problem and the overview, the CLO part of the formula, how excuse me, how important is that? Are those three steps to you in order to be able to create an emotionally compelling proposal? How important?
Yeah, it's very, very, very important. Like 10 out of 10 important, right? Because if you're not clarifying why you're there, then why aren't you there? Like, why are you even there, right? So you want to always overview everything. Basically, when you're doing that clarifying, overviewing everything, you want to make sure that what they're looking to get done is how you want to provide that proposal to as well, right? So say they're just, it's like we're trying to look for the cheapest option, for us, I might say, hey, it's like, what's your goal here? What are you looking to achieve? Are you looking to just get by on the books and kind of just save a little bit of money? Because if that's the case, then we might not be the company for you. I'm not sure, right? That's kind of like with that. I'm saying this because we're a very detailed, high end. Our price points are a little bit higher because we pay attention to that extra detail. We care a little bit more. We make sure that we don't spray onto the concrete. We're giving nice, crisp, straight white lines in the parking lot, sealing every crack that we possibly can, and giving them a great product at the end of the day that will actually last them over time versus some of what we call gypsies here, where they come out and will basically just slap asphalt in a pothole, call it a day, $500. That's not solving the problem, right? We solve the problem that they have, and that first part of the closer framework is huge to be able to identify how we price the job out and how we provide the solution to get them to where they want to be.
Dude, you're like so sharp. I love this, man. It's so cool how much you've learned over the last year. Dude, I am so excited for your future, Bryson. And yeah, we're gonna excuse me, one moment. Hold on. Ray, do me a favor, just cut that portion out. Thank you so much. It's great when you have a great editing team
Yeah,
that
there you
can
go.
just,
Yeah.
all right, let's go. Dude, that is so awesome, and I'm so excited for you, Bryson. Like you've learned so much in the last year, and I know that there's so much more learning to do. You should
Mhm.
always be a student, always be learning, man. I know every single day I am doing my best to unlearn the shit that I've been taught so that I can build a better future. So I know you're going to be doing the same stuff. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule as well, because I know things are lighting up and you've got a hard stop coming up probably right
Yep.
around now. So big question though, big finale question. What's the goal this year, bro?
Goal this year, 4 million.
$4 million in sales.
$4 million in sales is what we're going for here at ProSeal. So, gonna kill it. I know we can do it. We've invested a lot in terms of, getting different leads in that are actually ready to buy. So we have a lot of things and new things in the works here that we're working on. So I'm really looking forward to this year, ready to crush it and meet that 4 million goal.
Dude, and then for personal sales within that 4 million, what's your goal?
2 million personally.
2 million
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'll tell
So
you
you
what,
want
we'll bump it up a little bit more, 2.5.
$2.5
Yep.
million. All right, cool. So here's the reward on this one, right? If you hit that, I'm going to give you 2 trips to Anguilla. Not
2.
just one. I'm going to give you 2 trips. You're going to stack trips. 2 trips if you actually hit that number. And so what we'll do is we'll do a recap at the end of the year when we go into the following year. We're going to do a recap. And what we'll do is we'll actually share the screen of that sales goal within your CRM, and we'll be able to share it with everyone. So I'm putting you to that test, brother. You got this thing. I am fully convicted you've got it. And ProSeal is about to go to the moon, man.
Absolutely. We're ready for it.
Super excited, Bryson. Thank you for spending the time here. Invest in the time. I know that everyone who's going to watch this is going to be inspired by it. And listen, if you're one of those people out there that may not believe right now, there's some certain things, as we've discussed in this awesome freestyle jam, that you can apply to your toolbox to become more of a believer and to get out there and actually do it. Because that's really what it's all about. It's taking that very first step, taking action in your life to be able to build the life that you desire. Bryson, appreciate you, man. Go close another deal. Let's go.
Judd, have a great day.
You too, brother. See ya.
Later.